to have interest in nutrition. And this is when I watched a lot of documentaries about type 2 diabetes, about just different chronic conditions and how food can actually address the root cause of all of these things. And that's when it sparked my interest about nutrition. And so that's when I decided that's what I wanted to pursue. I wanted to be a doctor, but more so on the food side. So that's when I wanted to become a registered dietitian. And fast forward, I came to America because back then I grew up in Hong Kong. Hong Kong didn't have a dietetics program. And so I ended up in LA, and that's where I pursued my bachelor, got my registered dietitian license, and that is when I started. And I first started working in a plant-based clinic, and that's where my passion about type 2 diabetes started because I think 8 out of 10 patients that I saw every day had diabetes, but they didn't know that they can actually put it into remission or reverse it. They just knew that they can manage it. And so when they were given that option, they were very hopeful, and it was just amazing to see the results in reversing their insulin resistance and helping them really get to the root cause of things. So once they change their food, they're able to drop the meds, which was very exciting. Some of my family members also have diabetes as well. So it's definitely a very exciting topic for me to explore. And I think just to be able to give people the hope that they can reverse it is definitely something that I'm very passionate about.
Yeah, sounds fabulous. All right, tell me, how did you get into creating, obviously, the reverse diabetes revolution, reversing, should I say? And I guess you've gone really digital with online social media. You're very obviously heavy on that. Tell me how that's all transpired.
Yeah, so it all started with COVID. I at first it started with TikTok, and I was pretty skeptical about TikTok because back then we all knew it was an app for people to go on, do some dancing trends, and I was like, oh, I'm not that, Gen Z, I'm a millennial, so I wasn't
Yeah.
very interested in TikTok at that time. But I think because I started working for a YouTuber at the time. And so I saw how she was able to be very successful on social media. And so that inspired me to start my own social media. So I was like, okay, I'll just try it because, a coach told me to try TikTok. And that's where we blew up. And at first, we blew up because a lot of people are like reversing diabetes. That's never heard of. But what people don't know is that there's actually more and more research now showing that you can put type 2 diabetes into remission, you can reverse it, you can get off medications. It's just that, there's that old school of teaching. Once you get it, you have it forever. So that's something that, got a lot of controversy on TikTok. But, that's how we slowly grew. And then we also grew on Instagram. I would say like one of my strengths in growing social media is that I just don't care about perfection. I just can crunch out videos every day. So it started with very, very imperfect videos. It's still not perfect now, but I think the only thing I'm very good at is just pumping out videos every single day. So that's how, we grew our following and social media.
No, that's amazing. And it sounds like you're very authentic. And, that's what people love is, being authentic and being real. So, yeah.
Mhm.
All right, tell me about diabetes. What are the warning signs that someone might be getting it?
Yeah, one of the biggest warning signs, and sometimes people don't even get any signs at all, but one of the biggest warning signs is fatigue. So if you're feeling tired all the time, if you feel very tired, especially like after meals or especially in the afternoons, that could be a sign of obviously feeling tired can be due to a lot of different things as well, but one of the most common ones is feeling fatigue. And the reason why is because our body is not processing glucose effectively. So instead of processing it effectively, it just stays in the bloodstream. And so that's why a lot of times people feel really tired, feeling thirsty all the time. Um, Feeling like you have to go to the bathroom all the time, having dry skin is one of them, or having fruity breath is one of them. There's definitely a plethora of different signs, or having necrochens. This is where you have like dark patches on your neck or dark patches in your armpit. Those are also signs of insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes as well.
Great, thanks for sharing. And what foods would you recommend to help minimize the impact or the potential of getting it later on in life or whenever?
Yeah, one of the signs that I forgot to mention was having blurry vision, but one of the foods that can help with that is actually dark green leafy vegetables. So that's something that can help you with your eyes, with your vision, because a lot of times it actually, when you have high blood sugar, one, it affects your osmosis in your eyes. That's how you start getting blurry vision. So green leafy vegetables not only provides the fiber that can help you balance the blood sugar, but it also has chemical compounds that can quote unquote clean out the trash from your
Hmm.
eyes. So that's something that's, very exciting as well. I think the second one is soluble fiber. I think a lot of people just think about cutting carbs and that's it. But soluble fiber is actually what can address the root cause of insulin resistance and help you lower your blood lipids, which means fat in your blood. That can help you reverse insulin resistance and improve your blood sugars, if that makes sense. So that's another
Hmm.
one. Soluble fiber, you can find it in things like apples and things like quinoa, barley, a little bit more carby whole foods, whole plant foods, if that makes sense. And that's where, or beans and lentils, that's where you'll be able to find the soluble fibers.
Yeah, awesome. And what about is diabetes genetics? Like, so is there a chance that if you have it, obviously previous generations, that you can not get it? Or is there any way apart from obviously the foods minimizing it as well?
Yeah, absolutely. So a lot of times genetics do increase your chance of getting type 2 diabetes. However, it doesn't mean all doom and gloom because if you change your lifestyle with your food, with exercise, it can definitely turn things around. So it could be that maybe your parents had it, your grandparents had it, but if in this generation, in your generation, if you do something about it, you can definitely nip in the bud, even not getting type 2 diabetes at all or even reversing it. It's really about your lifestyle, your eating habits, your exercise. I like to say that, or Dr. Neil Bernard, who's very famous in the realm of dietetics and nutrition. He always talks about how with these genetic predisposed diseases, having these genes might be like having a gun, but the trigger is usually your lifestyle and what you eat and things like that.
Wonderful. Have you had any mentors in your career that's obviously helped you?
Sorry, what was that?
Have you had any mentors that have helped you in your
Mentor.
career? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I've had many mentors in my career. I've had many business coaches, I would say, that really helped me improve my, business, my systems, but also on how I show up on social media as well. So definitely a lot of different coaches. And I think even within my colleagues, I have dietitians that work within my company. They're also my mentors as well because they always gives me, new information, new researches. So they always teach me something new every single day. And I would say might be cheesy, but definitely my clients are also my mentors as well, just to be able to see them really take it by the reins and really be able to make those changes. Even though it might not be easy at first, that's something that, always inspires me as well.
Great. And what were your role models growing up? So even, I guess, relating to the medical industry as a whole, was there anyone that you really looked up to that inspired you?
Yeah, I would say definitely the Michael Greger, Dr. Michael Greger really inspired me. Dr. Neil Bernard, people that I've actually seen in those documentaries when I was in high school, because they're the first pioneers that really looked at how we can reverse diseases with what we eat. I would say Colin T. Campbell as well. That's one of the researchers that teaches at Cornell University that did the China study. That was very interesting just to see how even in just quote unquote race, they're able to see, how diet impacts their health metrics. So it was very interesting to see it. So I would say those are definitely, heroes,
Yeah,
that I could look up to growing up, and that inspires my work nowadays.
impressive. And what's the best piece of advice you ever received?
The best piece of advice. That's the only way that you can fail is to give up. I think a lot of times in no matter if it's social media, there's plenty of times that I'll see, comments and I'll like tear up. My husband can tell you about that, especially in the beginning. And there's many times with, comes with building a business, there's many different hurdles that you will have to go through. And so there's many chances that, you can give up, but honestly, or you could see it as failure. But I feel like because I didn't give up, I didn't fail. So I think a lot of times people, when they think about starting something, they're afraid to fail. But if you just keep on going, if you don't give up, you'll eventually be able to improve, fix whatever is in front of you, and be able to overcome. And so I think that is probably my strength. Not that I'm the smartest, not that, I'm the most influential, but really because I just didn't give up. So I would say that's the best advice that I got when it comes to, starting this empire, starting this journey.
Well, you're definitely on your way up, that's for sure.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Um, what's the best compliment you've ever received?
Mm, I have to think about that. Those are good questions. I would say, mm, I would say the best compliment is people complimenting on the people on my team. I would say that's something that I would consider that the best compliment because I really don't know how I got these amazing people because I have amazing dietitians on my team, amazing coaches on my team, just amazing workers and people on my team. And so a lot of times that when, yes, people can say that, I help them a lot on social media, but I think the best compliment is just being able to have this team of people that have the same mission. And I'm really grateful because a lot of them, even on my team, share with me how, this is their life goal. Like this is their um, passion. I don't know if you know the Japanese word ikigai. That means like it's like a Japanese word for your life passion. They believe that everyone should have, their life passion. So um, being able to told that, reversing diabetes revolution is their life passion is something that they're really grateful for is their you know mission. I think that's something that is the best compliment is just having this amazing team.
Yeah, for sure. That's tremendous. What inspires you daily?
What inspires me daily, I would say, is seeing people's testimonials and pe seeing people's wins every day. It might not be, a video that's coming out every day, but even just because we have a Slack channel between us and the coaches, so we'll see our clients' progress, and just seeing that is definitely something that inspires me every day, and not just because of the numbers, not because that, people are lowering their A1C or getting off medications, but I think it's actually seeing people post, oh, like you know, actually went grocery shopping today, or like I ate veggies with my cookies today, or just those small actions to see them start taking actions, or I added vegetables to my breakfast. Like, that's something that a lot of people are like, oh, vegetable for breakfast, like that's gross, right? But even being able to see people take those actions and just be able to like see them in the community, see them in the channel is something that really inspires me because I think, well, these are ordinary working people. Like they're not dietitians, like they're just ordinary working people that want to improve their lives. So I think just seeing that pop up every day definitely inspires me to keep going and to have even more. of a reminder of what we're doing because I think it's easy to get lost in the hustle and bustle, to get lost in the numbers. But when we are able to see like, wow, like people's lives are actually changing, that's definitely something that's very exciting. So, yeah.
Well, that's amazing. With the medical industry as a whole, how has it evolved and changed since when you, I guess, first started to where you are now? How has it really changed and evolved?
Yeah, absolutely. It's very interesting because what I teach a lot about is a plant predominant diet. So, just encouraging people to eat a lot of plants. But I know that at first it got a lot of backlash because people are like, what? Like plants have carbs, like fruits have carbs, right? So people are we're very, very resistant to the idea. So there's definitely a lot, I would say even on social media, you see a lot more people arguing in the comments. Now people don't really argue in the comments anymore. Now they're kind of getting it, if that makes sense. So that's definitely a shift there. But also, actually, today I was opening a catalog of different nutrition books because as dietitians we get these catalogs of nutritional books where we can get continuing education. So it was cool because I saw a lot more plant-based books on there. So there's Dr. Michael Greger's How Not to Die, How Not to Diet, How Not to Age, also Fiber Fields, like a lot of more plant predominant books are on there. So that's really cool just to see, wow, like, okay, people are actually leaning more towards a plant forward approach. Now, I don't ask people to go vegan or vegetarian if they don't want to. Actually, 90% of my clients are not vegans or vegetarians. But it's really about, adding more plants to their meals. So I think even seeing there's more and more of a paradigm shift. Even seeing a lot of carnivore gurus now they're saying that you should eat carbs you should have carbs again so that's definitely a huge paradigm shift that I've been seeing.
Great. And what excites you most about the future?
I think it's people's awareness on health. I think maybe thanks to social media I see more and more people be more health aware, be more aware of their labs or be more aware of the foods that they're ta intaking. So that's definitely something that's also exciting to see. It's really cool just to see people be able to learn a lot of different knowledge just from internet or even podcasts as well. And so that's something that's very exciting. So I think it's just the information that we'll be able to have, and I think even more research. I think a lot more research even though there are substantial research on reversing diabetes, on, putting diabetes into remission, I definitely would hope to see more and more research on that so people can just be further reaffirmed that it is something that's possible. So yeah, that's something that I'm looking forward to in the future and being able to help more people. Our goal is to help 1 million people reverse type 2 diabetes or pre-diabetes. So that's a goal that I'll be looking forward to.
Yeah, tremendous. What's your favorite personal food?
I would say Asian food, obviously, but I think that's something that I personally think Asian food is great because they feature a lot of vegetables. So it's also something that's very easy to make a balanced meal as well. So there's your vegetables, there's your protein, and there's your grain that you can use. So, and a lot of times they use methods like adding spices, or like steaming, or sometimes like, slightly stir frying or marinating, fermenting. So there's a lot of different methods that they use to make the food flavorful without adding a lot of unhealthy ingredients. So Asian food would be my favorite, but especially like I'm not Korean, but I love Korean banchan, which is like the side dishes that they have. That's something that's very refreshing. Sometimes I just go there just so that I can ask for unlimited banchan and all that good stuff. So that would be, my personal favorite. I just came back from China, so I got to eat a lot of delicious dishes. We had mushroom hot pot, which is really cool because we were in a province where they grew a lot of different mushrooms. It was called Yunnan. So they have a lot of different kinds of mushrooms. So we had like mushroom hot pot. It was absolutely delicious. So yeah, I love Asian food.
Yeah, impressive. Where's your favorite place to travel to?
Sorry, what was that?
Where is your favorite place to travel to?
Where is my favorite place to travel to? It'll also be like my last last
Sure.
answer. It'll be Asia. We love going to Asia, and last year we went to Japan 4 times because we just love, the food, the people, the vibes there. And then this year, I've been to Korea several times already. Korea is also very, very fun. But China has been great as well. Just the scenery, the people. It's really cool just to see how the country progresses in their technology. It was just totally different from when I visited, because I grew up in Hong Kong, so it was very different from when I visited China when I was little to now. Now it's way more advanced, it's much cleaner, and it's very fun to travel to. So we love going to Asia. So I'm actually going again in October. So uh, it's our favorite place to travel to.
Yeah, terrific. And what do you like to do in your downtime? Apart from obviously a busy lifestyle, what do you like to do when you're away from everything and just you want to chill? Like, what do you like to do on your Sundays?
Yeah, so I love painting. I've been picking up painting. So, but I'm not the most creative person. So the way I paint is I like to watch other people's YouTube videos and I'll like copy them. So those, are majority of my inspiration for painting. But I've also picked up, I don't know what it's called in English, but it's basically kind of like a wooden model. So they give you instructions on how to build it from like a map, and then they give you like little wooden pieces and you just put it together. You can make like a little bookshelf that has like little figurines inside. I just bought one that has like a sakura tree with a tree house there. So I do like crafts a lot, but I would say I'm very interesting because I'm not the most creative. I just like copying, or just being told what to do, if that makes sense. So that's something I like to do. I also love watching movies and TVs as well. That's something I love to do. And I love just hanging out with friends too. I'm an extrovert, so I love to, talk to people and just hang out with my girlfriends too. Try new food places. So yeah, that's what I like to do usually.
Yeah, wonderful. And when you look back at your career today, are there any specific moments that when you reflect that you stand out for you that you're like, wow, this happened or that happened?
Yeah, I would say, mm, I think like I would say one is being able to see my social media grow so much. I remember starting from zero, and just being able to see it grow and see my hard work pay off. And sometimes I'm like, wow, like I'm so glad I started. And I still remember different conversations that I've had with people when I start, because I remember like starting everything, I was so scared. And then I was talking to a family friend and has like a plumbing or not plumbing. He had like a concrete business. And so we were just talking about like starting and he was the one that told me the only way that I can fail is if I give up. And so that's something that was very inspiring for me. I would say even just having really difficult times when people like in the team like come and go. I think especially when people come and go, I can feel like, dang, like, or really pivotal people that had to leave, the team. I think I just felt like, dang, like, can I do this on my own? Like, can I, conquer this? And I did. And so it's sometimes I think even, thinking about that, I think like I was not very confident in myself. And I think I put a lot of like confidence in other people. But I think even just looking back, I felt like God was like, okay, like, no, like you can do this. You can actually, manage the whole team. You can do all of these things. And so that's something that, I look back and I'm like, wow, like I'm grateful that I had those moments. I had to choose to trust in myself. So yeah, those are definitely moments that I look back. I'm like, okay, yes, like I did it. And so yeah,
Yeah, marvelous. That's inspiring, It's incredible what you've achieved. So yeah, well done.
thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. All right, if you were 18 again and you could change anything, it could be personally or professionally, what would you change?
I think I would change about my self-perception. I think a lot of times we can see that, you know, maybe it's conditioning since we were little, but just not having that much confidence in myself. And so I definitely would change that because I think that now looking back, I'm like, wow, like I didn't have to be that scared. Like I could be a little bit more confident. Could be a lot more influential if I wasn't that scared. So I think even thinking about that, I'm like, wow, like I wish I could, just go back and tell myself, like, yes, like you can do it. Just, believe in yourself. And so that's something that I would change. And also, I think to not be scared of what people say, because sometimes it's actually good that what you say can contradict with other people because it means that you are standing up for something, right? I love the musical Hamilton. It just between how Hamilton was and how the other I forgot his name, but how the other character was. But Hamilton was someone that always stood up for something. And so I think even in my career, like I have to stand up for a lot of things that I believe in and other people may not believe in. And it might cause people to, argue in the comments. And it's okay. It's okay to have those because that means I'm standing up for something. And because I am standing up for something, a lot of times people also gravitate towards that. Yes, there's people that, may not agree with me, but those that, are looking for another solution or looking for a way out. That's something that, might be what they needed to hear in the moment.
Yeah, incredible. Thanks for sharing.
Mhm.
Charmaine, thank you for coming on the podcast. I do appreciate it. It's amazing everything you've done, everything you're doing, and yeah, I wish you nothing but the best in the future.
Thank you, Nick. I appreciate you having me, and it was fun to be here. And I appreciate your amazing questions and great interview as well. Thank you.
Thank you. I had a lot of fun. Thank you.
Thank